Today, what I'm going to be talking about is astrology, and one of the primary things that astrology should be teaching you. If you are a very serious astrologer, if you understand how serious astrology is, if you're a person that's really, really into this, then you need to hear this video. So now, one of the major core things that astrology should be teaching you is that everybody is truly different, right? Everybody is not the same as you specifically. You see what I'm saying? Certain people are born with advantages. Certain people are born with disadvantages. Now, we all know that there are certain things in the birth chart that you can change. However, astrology by itself is largely in favor of fated things. Real talk, right? Now, why do I say that? So now, anybody who knows astrology, you know you would look to your family for your fourth house and your second house, right? Those are the primary houses of family. The fourth house is the house of mother, or even the ninth house is the house of father, or some in the 10th house in the Vedic lore. But second house is normally the house of family, right? So what you got to understand is, y'all, listen, you can't change your biological family, right? So whatever I tell you that goes on in your second house, like I'm going to give you a prime example. If I read you right now at 30 years old, and I'm able to tell you, a stranger, about your family that I've never met or never seen, right? You need to understand is that even if you were 1 year old, everything that I'm telling you at 30 years old would more than likely still have happened. Real talk when it comes to your family, right? So that's one thing in the birth chart that you really cannot change. You cannot change the family or the parents you are born into. You cannot change, you know what I'm talking about, by natural means, your height or anything. You see what I'm saying? So you got to remember, because doesn't the first house or the ascendant constitute the physical body? So you see, so there are certain things in life that are fated, right? Like if I read your birth chart and I'm able to tell you anything about what has happened to you in the past or what's going on now, you have to understand that I am reading certain energies about what's going on inside of your birth chart, and the fact that they are manifesting now or have manifested, that's a large signal to you that astrology is largely based off of fate in general, right? So two things. So now you understand that everybody is different, right? And a lot of things are fated. However, the main meat of this video, I'm here to talk about agami karma from the Vedic astrological lens, right? So now, agami karma is basically the karma that you are creating now in this lifetime. So now, if y'all know real true Vedic astrology, then you understand the wheel of samsara, life, death, and rebirth, reincarnation, past lives. You should very much understand all of that, right? So what you have to understand, y'all, listen, is that you being alive right now is due to past life karma. Please understand that, right? You being alive right now is due to past life karma. The circumstances that you are in right now, a lot of it is due to past life karma, right? Now, being consciously aware of the karma that you do have, it allows you to be able to navigate and use that agami karma a little bit better. You see what I'm saying? You're like, okay, listen, these are the cards I'm dealt with, you know what I'm saying? But how can I use these to better my lot in life in general? Real talk. So what you have to understand, y'all, listen, is that you have the ability to form your own destiny to a certain extent. You do, right? But if you lack awareness of what's going on or what needs to be changed, then you won't be able to really change shit at all. And I'm being very blunt like that. You won't really be able to change nothing because you refuse to acknowledge the wall and the issue that is right there in front of you and actually try your best to break through it, right? Real talk. So it's like you just going to be forced to deal with the shit karma. You're not going to be really able to really make a strong dent in the wall, a strong change, or anything, because the actual problem area, you will refuse to actually handle that shit correctly. So guess what happens? You just have to play that fated event out, right? You see what I'm saying? If I tell you, hey, tomorrow you're going to get struck by lightning, and you know I'm always right, and I've been right with so many other people, my predictions always come true. Let's say you say, you know what, I'm going to go out and, so if I say, don't go out tomorrow, you won't get struck by lightning, and you refuse to, when you go out and your ass gets struck by lightning, you see how you basically follow the pattern that I tried to warn you that you could avoid. You see what I'm saying? And so a lot of times, y'all, listen, a lot of things in people's lives are due to stubbornness and hard-headedness. So a lot of shit that people end up with is, a lot of times, it is their fault when it comes to their decisions and their actions and their choices, right? But the good thing about agami karma is that you do have the power to actually change stuff, right? Now, what would be the prominent planets to be for you to be able to change things, right? Well, first you need to know. First, you need to really, because when it comes to karma is about actions, right? That you must perform, right? So what I'm going to tell you is that you need the planet Mercury, you need the planet Mars, right? Because Mercury is decisions, ideas, thinking capacity, comprehension, analytical skills, right? But Mars in and of itself is the planet of executing, of actually doing things. That's why Mars is always known as the planet of actions, right? So if you do not critically think, and if you do not actually comprehend and understand what needs to be done, then guess what? You are fucked, right? Because you don't comprehend what needs to be done, so you can't ever do what needs to be done. You're like, well, I don't get it. The longer you don't get it, the more your karma from the past life is gonna keep playing out and playing out. Real talk. So if you want things to change, y'all, you have to actually have a conscious effort to actually, because remember, Mars, if you know Vedic astrology, Mars is the karaka of the third house. The third house is the house of courage, right? So you have to have the courage and the willpower and the drive and the analytical skills in order to move forward, to be able to navigate and see, okay, what part of my karma is really damaging me the most? Is it your relationship karma, right? Is it your family karma? Is it your money karma? Is it your career karma? You see what I'm saying? Like, what karma is really damaging you the most, right? And then acknowledge, okay, well, yeah, it's fucking me up here. I do have a problem here. I do have a problem there. And then guess what? You get your ass on it and you try your best to really change it, right? But you don't half-ass it. That's another thing, too. When you're dealing with karma, you cannot half-ass karma. You are dealing with this invisible energetic frequency that is there. That's, you know what I'm talking about, giving you the results of your actions, right? So if you half-ass some shit, guess what? You're going to receive half the action. Some people do half-ass shit and be surprised when the full result that they wanted don't come. I'm like, but if you understand karma, you have to really empty that shit out and actually, you know what I'm talking about, empty it out and then make, you know what I'm talking about, just as much new shit as you got rid of the old stuff. But a lot of people don't listen to that, right? So a large portion of people's problems when it comes to astrology is like, you have the capabilities to be able to change certain fates. But if you are not willing to actually change said fates, and you are subject to just the woes of your birth chart, right? So now, think about it. If you do not try to resist the things that you don't like in the birth chart, you will be a slave of the birth chart. You see what I'm saying? That's why astrology is originally a wheel. The wheel of life, death, and rebirth. Please understand that, right? So if you want to start learning how to break those cyclical patterns, then guess what? Your ass really need to listen, right? But if you don't listen, life is just going to life, right? I'm gonna tell you this, y'all. Listen, when it comes to astrology, remember, astrology reflects real life, both the good and the bad, right? The universe is not in the business of just, you know what I'm talking about, making it a primary focus to just spare and save people all the time. And some of you may disagree. Well, why do some of these other, matter of fact, why did those 84 girls in the war just get killed at the all-girls school over there in Iran? Real talk. I'm pretty sure they probably have strong faith even at their young age. That didn't save them. You see what I'm saying? So the universe is not making it a priority to always keep people safe. Look at the wars that have always plagued humanity even in the past. So that's what people really need to be aware of. Y'all listen, you have to actually take shit into your own hands and try to change shit and navigate shit. So you do have to have a degree of optimism, but you also have to have a degree of, you know what I'm saying, realism. You know what I'm talking about? But the thing about the realism part is, don't get so real to the point where you become extremely pessimistic. So you have to have some of the Jupiterian flair within you, right? Otherwise, you'll just be plagued by the curse of Saturn, limitations and restriction, right? So there are two things, right? You don't want to overindulge, and then you don't want to under participate. You see what I'm saying? But if you are trying to change stuff in your life, it is called agami karma. You are generating new karma, right? So guess what? Even if you are reborn again in the next lifetime, guess what? Shit may be a little bit better for you if you haven't been able to liberate from the whole entire cycle of life, death, and rebirth, right? So that's what people really need to be aware of. That's what people really need to understand, right? If you really are trying to make something happen in your life from the Vedic astrological understanding, it's all karma based, right? It's not just all a karmic relationship. A lot of y'all just in astrology for relationship. Y'all, everything is not about relationship. Please understand that. Some of you all have paths that are solely focused on you and what you need to do and how you need to carry things inside of this life now, right? I'm just saying, right? So, if you want to make a change, y'all, listen, then you have to actually get up and make the change. Otherwise, guess what? I'm telling y'all now, the universe don't really give that much of a damn. As people think the universe will heal, the universe, no, it won't. And reality can prove that, right? You see what I'm saying? Bad things still do happen to good people. You want to know why? Because of karma, right? Karma from previous lives. Karma actually transcends dimensions and lifetimes. Real talk, right? So you're like, well, I'm good now. Why I'm suffering? Well, listen, it largely don't really have nothing to do with you. It's the soul inside of you and what it has experienced and what it has accumulated to what your ass have now, right? You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Y'all, listen, if you really want to make a change, a real true change inside of your life, guess what you are going to have to do? Use the garment karma, but you're going to have the courage and the willpower to do it. If you do not have the courage and the willpower to do it, you will fail. You see what I'm saying? What's that saying? You fall down 7 times, fall down 8 times, get up 9, something like that, y'all. And that's just the struggle of life, right? Life in and of itself is a battlefield. No matter how you try to slice it, there are going to be some rough patches. That's just what it is, unfortunately. But it's still largely in your hands about you making the best of certain circumstances. But it all starts with the mind. And once you get the mind aspect complete, then your ass execute. But yes, y'all. So now, if you want your astrology birth chart read for me, listen, go follow me on all of my pages: Facebook in front of Rex, IG Rex KAIN, TikTok Revelation KAIN. I'm into doing collaborations with people who are intellectual, no drama, no BS. Listen, I'm trying to get like a little astrology community group together, whatever, but people who are very serious, not none of this play shit. But if you want your birth chart read, listen, please go on my front of Rex. I post my reviews daily. I post different reviews from different clients daily. Right? I'm not just one of those astrologers who just be talking and yapping. I'm really about that life, for real. But other than that, though, y'all listen, I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day, night, whatever the hell you got going on as far as the sun and the moon. But other than that, I will talk to y'all later, man. Peace.